January 8, 2000, was a day that would forever be etched in NFL history. It was the AFC wild card game, and the Tennessee Titans were hosting the Buffalo Bills at the Adelphia Coliseum in Nashville. Both teams had battled fiercely all season to earn a spot in the playoffs, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. What unfolded in the final seconds of this matchup would become one of the most iconic and hotly debated moments in football history, forever known as the Music City Miracle. The game was a tense, hard-fought battle from the opening whistle. The Buffalo Bills, led by quarterback Rob Johnson, had managed to claw their way into the lead with just 16 seconds left on the clock. A clutch 41-yard field goal by Steve Christie gave the Bills a narrow 16-15 advantage, leaving the Titans with little time to respond. For most fans in the stadium, the outcome seemed inevitable. Resignation hung in the cold January air as thousands prepared for what they thought was the final kickoff of the game. The Titans lined up for the return, and the atmosphere grew heavy with anticipation, each second feeling like an eternity for the fans in the stadium. Christie's kick arced through the air, and Titans fullback Lorenzo Neal fielded the ball cleanly, cradling it with a calm that belied the chaos about to unfold. As defenders closed in, Neal wasted no time, quickly handing the ball to tight end Frank Wycheck. Wycheck paused for the briefest of moments, scanning the field with the instincts of a seasoned player, before unleashing what appeared to be a lateral pass across the field. The ball sailed in a perfect arc to wide receiver Kevin Dyson, who caught it mid-stride. With a pivot so sharp it left defenders stumbling, Dyson turned upfield and began an electrifying sprint down the sideline. The crowd erupted as Dyson broke free, his strides growing longer and more confident with every step. He weaved effortlessly past would-be tacklers, his speed and precision making it seem as if the field had parted just for him. Every yard he gained amplified the energy in the stadium, the roar of the fans swelling to an almost deafening crescendo. By the time Dyson reached the 20-yard line, it was clear no one was going to catch him. He crossed the goal line untouched, raising his arms triumphantly as pandemonium broke out in Adelphia Coliseum. As Dyson celebrated, chaos reigned. Titans fans roared in jubilation, their cheers echoing through the stadium like a thunderclap. On the Buffalo Bills sideline, however, the scene was starkly different. Players and coaches erupted in protest, furiously gesturing toward the official. They insisted that Wycheck's pass had been a forward pass, a violation that would nullify the play and preserve their narrow lead. The officials conferred briefly before signaling a touchdown, but the controversy was far from over. The play was sent to review, and the entire stadium fell into an uneasy silence as replay officials began their meticulous analysis. The review was excruciatingly detailed. Multiple camera angles were scrutinized, with officials attempting to determine whether the pass had indeed traveled laterally or if it had gone forward. To some, the trajectory of the ball seemed suspiciously forward. To others, it appeared to be perfectly lateral, a testament to Wycheck's precision and skill. Every second of the review felt like an eternity, the tension in the air thick enough to cut with a knife. Finally, after what seemed like an endless wait, the officials returned to the field. Their decision, the call on the field, would stand. Touchdown, Titan. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Titans fans erupted into jubilant celebration, their cheers shaking the stadium to its very foundation. The team rushed onto the field, embracing Dyson and each other in a display of unrestrained joy. Meanwhile, the Bills players stood in stunned silence, disbelief etched onto their faces as the reality of the moment sank in. The Music City Miracle was complete, but its legacy had only just begun. The stadium fell silent as replay officials began their painstaking review, a process that seemed to stretch on endlessly for the players, coaches, and fans alike. Every conceivable angle of Wycheck's pass was scrutinized in agonizing detail. Some replays seemed to show the ball traveling forward, sparking protests from Bills fans and players alike. Others appeared to confirm that the pass was perfectly lateral, a brilliant execution of a risky play under immense pressure. The margin for error was razor-thin, and the replay officials meticulously analyzed every frame of footage, pausing and rewinding in slow motion to examine the ball's trajectory. The tension in the air was almost unbearable, with players pacing the sidelines and fans holding their breath, clinging to hope or bracing for heartbreak. After what felt like an eternity, the officials returned to the field to deliver their verdict. The head referee stepped forward, his voice echoing through the hushed stadium as he announced that the call on the field would stand. Touchdown, Titan. The decision instantly ignited a firestorm of reaction. Titans fans erupted into euphoric celebration, their cheers reaching a deafening roar that shook the stadium to its core. Jubilant players rushed onto the field, embracing Kevin Dyson and each other in a display of unrestrained joy. It was a moment of pure elation, a culmination of hope and effort transformed into an iconic victory. Meanwhile, devastation swept through the Buffalo Bills sideline. Players stood frozen in disbelief, their heads bowed as the realization of what had transpired sank in. Coaches and staff members stared at the field, their protests silenced by the finality of the decision. For the Bills, this was not just a loss, it was a heartbreaking end to their season, amplified by the controversy that would forever shroud the play. The emotional toll was palpable, with some players visibly shaken as they walked off the field, the weight of the moment etched onto their faces. The Music City Miracle was complete, a dazzling, controversial, and unforgettable sequence that would dominate NFL conversations for years to come. For one team, it was a testament to resilience and brilliance under pressure. For the other, it was a cruel twist of fate, a reminder of how thin the line can be between triumph and despair. The play, soon dubbed the Music City Miracle, became a defining moment for both teams, carving a legacy that would shape the narratives of their respective franchises for years to come. For the Titans, it was a rallying point that not only propelled them to new heights but also unified the team under a shared sense of destiny. The victory electrified their playoff run, carrying their momentum through the AFC Championship game and culminating in their first-ever Super Bowl appearance. Though they narrowly lost Super Bowl 34 in a dramatic finish, falling just 1 yard short of tying the game, the Music City Miracle solidified the 1999 Titans as one of the NFL's most memorable and resilient teams. Their improbable journey became a source of inspiration, symbolizing the power of perseverance and the unpredictable beauty of football. For the Buffalo Bills, however, the play marked the beginning of a prolonged period of frustration and heartache. It wasn't just a loss, it was a moment that encapsulated the fragility of success and the cruel nature of the sport. The team wouldn't return to the playoffs for an agonizing 17 years, a drought that weighed heavily on the franchise and its loyal fanbase. The Music City Miracle became a haunting reminder of missed opportunities and crushing defeats, a moment replayed not for celebration but as a painful what-if. The controversy surrounding the lateral lingered like an open wound, with Bills fans and analysts continuing to scrutinize and debate its legality long after the game ended. For many in Buffalo, the pain of that day in Nashville remains vivid, a reminder of just how fleeting glory can be. The enduring impact of the Music City Miracle transcends mere statistics or highlight reels. It represents a tale of triumph and despair that perfectly encapsulates the emotional highs and lows of professional sports. For Titans fans, the play remains a cherished memory, celebrated as a triumph of strategy, execution, and sheer willpower. It's a story they proudly recount, a moment that defines what it means to believe in the impossible. For the Bills and their faithful, it's an agonizing chapter that underscores the heartbreak inherent in competition. Yet, even in their pain, the play has become a touchstone for resilience, reminding them of their unwavering loyalty and the hope that endures through even the darkest times. In the years that followed, the Music City Miracle took on a life of its own, becoming one of the most analyzed and celebrated plays in NFL history. It was featured prominently in highlight reels, dissected in documentaries, and repeatedly shown in retrospectives as an example of the dramatic unpredictability that defines football. Fans and analysts alike pored over the play from every possible angle, with endless debates about the physics of the ball's trajectory and the interpretation of NFL rules. Some argued vehemently that the pass had traveled forward, while others pointed to precise measurements and Wycheck's execution as evidence that it was perfectly lateral. This ongoing discourse not only cemented the play's status as one of the most controversial moments in sports history, but also ensured that its legacy would endure for decades. The Music City Miracle wasn't just a game-winning play, it was a microcosm of everything that makes football great. It embodied the high-stakes drama, the inherent unpredictability, and the raw emotion that captivate fans around the world. The play also served as a stark reminder of the razor-thin margin between victory and defeat. In a single moment, fortunes were reversed, altering the course of a game, a season, and the legacies of two franchises. For the Titans, it became a symbol of determination and the rewards of taking calculated risks. For the Bills, it was a haunting what-if, a painful reminder of how quickly dreams can unravel under the bright lights of playoff football. The controversy surrounding the Music City Miracle also added to its mystique. Analysts broke down the play frame by frame, exploring the physics of ball movement and player positioning, while fans passionately debated its fairness in online forums, sports bars, and living rooms. Even today, over 2 decades later, the question of whether the pass was legal remains a hot topic among NFL enthusiasts, proving the enduring fascination with this singular moment in sports history. For the Titans and their fans, the Music City Miracle remains a source of pride and inspiration. It's a reminder of the power of perseverance, teamwork, and a little bit of magic. For the Bills and their faithful, it's a bitter reminder of how close they came to advancing, and how a single play can forever change a team's trajectory. The play's impact transcends the game itself, standing as a testament to the enduring power of unforgettable moments in sports. Today, the Music City Miracle is more than just a highlight. It's a story of triumph, heartbreak, and the relentless pursuit of glory. It's a reminder that in football, as in life, the most extraordinary moments often arise when least expected. The legacy of that fateful January day continues to echo through the halls of NFL history, ensuring that the Music City Miracle will never be forgotten.